We often heard that we're the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Epictetus once said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." To achieve this, we need to identify people who are who needs to be encouraged, to accept, and who is to avoid. Although many times we cannot just delete them from our lives, nor can go completely out of their influence, it is important to recognize them and live outside their toxic nature, which can cause serious damage in our lives, and accept other things that are unavoidable, as they may be our superiors, our subordinates, or family members. Today, we approach this concept through the Stoic perspective, examining the 12 types of individuals who can hinder our daily well-being and discovering strategies to navigate these complex relationships. Before we embark, a humble request. If you find value in this content, a like would aid in furthering the spread of Stoic wisdom. And if you're not yet subscribed, consider joining us and hitting the bell to stay updated on our journey. 1. The schemer. Schemers are individuals who manipulate and deceive others for personal gain, often resorting to duplicity and falsehoods. Their actions make them untrustworthy and undermine genuine relationships. Manipulative individuals view interactions as strategic games, plotting to gain advantages for themselves by exploiting others. They manipulate situations, form false alliances, and coerce outcomes to suit their own agenda, all while maintaining a facade of goodwill and sincerity. The Stoics recognize that deceit and exploitation ultimately fail and isolate the schemer. Instead, they advocate for treating others with sincerity and respect, acknowledging their inherent dignity as fellow human beings. True cooperation can only emerge from genuine sincerity and mutual respect, not from manipulation and deceit. 2. The Faultfinder. The chronic fault-finder is a tiresome personality type characterized by perpetual negativity and criticism. They find fault in almost everything, from the weather to their job, spreading gloom instead of light. Minor imperfections become massive grievances in their eyes, and they fail to take constructive action to improve their circumstances. Rather than addressing issues proactively, the chronic fault-finder prefers to complain and play the victim, seeking sympathy and attention from others. This negativity not only affects their own well-being, but also drags down those around them. While hardships are inevitable, individuals can choose to respond with wisdom and resilience instead of futile complaints. It's essential to recognize the destructive nature of chronic fault-finding and strive to cultivate a more positive outlook on life. 3. The greedy. The greedy individual, driven by insatiable material desires and avarice, becomes consumed by the pursuit of wealth and possessions. Their judgment and character are clouded by their relentless craving for more, regardless of their existing wealth. They see life as a zero-sum game, believing that gaining more means others must lose, and they are unwilling to share their wealth or success. Their greed leads them to exploit and harm others, stepping on anyone who stands in their way of accumulating more wealth. They may appear to appreciate and pamper others when it benefits them, but they quickly discard those relationships once their purpose is served. While wealth accumulation is not inherently bad, Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of ethical behavior and maintaining inner peace. Greed stems from a mindset of scarcity, leading individuals to constantly seek more without finding satisfaction. It's crucial to remain honest, ethical, and mindful of one's actions to avoid harming oneself and others in the pursuit of wealth. 4. The Deceitful. The deceitful individual is a problematic personality type discussed in Stoic philosophy. These individuals lack integrity and moral standards, and they are willing to go to unethical lengths to achieve their goals. Integrity and honesty are fundamental values in Stoicism, as they contribute to living a virtuous life. Deceitful individuals have no qualms about lying, cheating, stealing, betraying, or breaking promises to further their ambitions. They prioritize personal gain over ethical considerations and disregard the harm they may cause to others. This lack of moral integrity erodes trust and damages relationships. In Stoicism, the emphasis is on cultivating inner principles and adhering to a moral compass, even in the face of external pressures or temptations. It's essential to prioritize integrity and ethical conduct over material gains or short-term benefits. By aligning actions with virtuous principles, individuals can uphold their dignity and integrity regardless of external circumstances. 5. The wrathful. The Stoics caution against associating with chronically wrathful individuals who are prone to frequent fits of anger, bitterness, and desires for revenge. These individuals allow their temper to overpower their reason and judgment, leading them to react strongly to minor provocations and perceive others' actions in the worst possible light. Chronically angry people often carry grudges and refuse to forgive or let go of past offenses. Their anger stems from a sense of helplessness and the feeling that they are not getting what they deserve from the world. As a result, they resort to resentment and retaliation as a means of asserting control. It's essential to understand the underlying reasons for someone's anger and whether it stems from habit, situational factors, or repeated mistakes by others. The Stoic advice to avoid chronically angry people suggests that prolonged and uncontrolled anger can be detrimental to one's well-being and relationships. Instead, they encourage cultivating self-awareness and resilience to manage anger in a healthy and constructive manner. 6. The envious. The envious individual harbors resentment towards others' successes and possessions, feeling that their own happiness diminishes when others thrive. Operating from a mindset of scarcity, they believe that someone else's gain equates to their loss, breeding feelings of insecurity and animosity. Envy leads individuals to seek out reasons to remain unhappy, often resorting to harmful actions such as spreading rumors or sabotaging others' successes. They may even form alliances with others to cause harm to someone they envy. Identifying and avoiding envious individuals is crucial, as their toxic mindset can negatively impact not only others but also themselves. Recovery from envy must come from within, as it is a serious mental state that can damage both personal well-being and relationships. 7. The arrogance. Arrogance is a toxic personality trait characterized by excessive pride and a sense of superiority. Arrogant individuals believe they are always right, the best at what they do, and deserving of special treatment. This leads them to look down on others and dismiss advice or criticism as beneath them. Their arrogance breeds intolerance, disrespect, and hostility towards those they consider inferior. Arrogant individuals struggle to acknowledge their mistakes or limitations, as doing so would threaten their grandiose self-image. They lack humility and are unteachable, rejecting feedback that could help them improve. Arrogance also hinders their ability to form genuine connections with others, as they seek dominance and recognition rather than equality. The Stoics caution against arrogance and emphasize the importance of cultivating humility and recognizing our human fallibility. True pride should stem from virtuous living rather than inflating one's own importance. 8. The Flatterer. The Flatterer is a type of toxic person who seeks to gain favor through insincere praise and compliments. They shower others with excessive flattery, not out of genuine admiration, but because they have ulterior motives and want something in return. While many people appreciate praise, it's essential to be mindful and discerning about its sincerity. Flatterers are quick to change their allegiance once their purpose is served or their efforts are defeated. Therefore, it's crucial to conduct a self-review to understand one's true identity and motivations, identify flatterers, and maintain a healthy distance from them. Building relationships based on sincerity and mutual respect fosters genuine connections and contributes to personal and professional development. 9. The self-pitying. Self-pitying individuals are characterized by their tendency to wallow in their own misery and portray themselves as victims in every situation. They shirk responsibility for their circumstances and blame external factors like fate or the universe for their troubles. This mentality of poor, pitiful me fosters feelings of powerlessness and resentment. Self-pitying individuals expect others to coddle them and make things right, rather than taking proactive steps to improve their situation. They may view anyone offering advice or guidance as an enemy, further deepening their sense of victimhood. Spending time with a self-pitying person can be draining and even infectious, as their negative outlook can influence those around them. It's important to recognize the destructive nature of self-pity and strive to cultivate resilience and agency in the face of challenges. 10. The Contemptuous. The contemptuous individual is another toxic personality type discussed in Stoic philosophy. These individuals dismiss sincerity, idealism, and goodness as naive or foolish, spreading skepticism and cynicism that undermines hope and community cohesion. They view positive virtues such as honesty, compassion, and altruism with scorn, believing that no one genuinely upholds such principles. Stoicism teaches that despite the existence of evil, it's essential to retain faith in humanity's collective potential for virtue and goodness. Cynicism is corrosive and diminishes our ability to effect positive change in society. While acknowledging disappointment, Stoics advocate for maintaining openness to sincerity and working together to promote justice and compassion in the world. 11. The Insensitive. The Stoics caution against insensitivity, which manifests as a lack of empathy and concern for how one's words and actions impact others. Insensitive individuals often fail to pick up on social cues or understand others' perspectives, leading them to unintentionally hurt or offend those around them. Their relationships tend to remain shallow because others do not feel safe being vulnerable around them. Stoicism encourages the development of greater empathy, compassion, and care in our interactions with others. While we cannot control how others perceive us, we can strive to interact with kindness and consideration. Insensitive individuals may appear happy on the surface, but they often deliver disrespect and pain to the lives of sensitive people. It is essential to be mindful of others' challenges, misfortunes, and feelings, and to strive to avoid causing harm through our words and actions. Cultivating sensitivity and empathy can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections with those around us. 12. The Reckless. Stoic teachings caution against the reckless individual who takes unnecessary risks and disregards the consequences of their actions. These individuals endanger themselves and others by engaging in hazardous behavior without considering the potential harm. Reckless people often seek thrills and excitement by ignoring warning signs and pushing the limits of safety. They may rationalize their behavior, believing that rules do not apply to them or that they are somehow exempt from the consequences of their actions. However, this recklessness inevitably leads to disaster, as the reckless individual leaves behind a trail of crises that could have been avoided with prudence and self-control. Despite the negative outcomes of their actions, reckless individuals may fail to learn from their mistakes, avoiding accountability and continuing to indulge their whims. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of living rationally and exercising self-control, even in the face of challenges or temptations. While courage is valued, true bravery involves tempering boldness with reason to cultivate virtue rather than endangerment. In the end, recklessness serves no one and is ultimately dishonorable. We have a duty to ourselves and others to show discipline, face consequences, and learn from our mistakes, rather than acting rashly and irresponsibly. Self-awareness is indeed crucial on the Stoic path. Understanding these toxic personality types in others can offer valuable insights, but it's our own self-awareness and commitment to improvement that truly shape our Stoic journey. Reflecting on our own thoughts, behaviors, and reactions allows us to align our choices with our virtues and cultivate wisdom in our actions. Thank you for joining us on this Stoic journey. Until next time, may these practices transform your mornings, your days, and ultimately, your life.